Hello one and all, and a warm welcome back to the FM19 Beta save with Borussia Dortmund with me, Frew FM. Today we're going to take on CFR Pforzheim in the German Cup first round, and we're also going to take on RB Leipzig. So two games to bring you today. It'll be our first competitive games of the season. I've actually let my assistant manager take over the friendlies, so I don't know what the match engine looks like yet. I haven't played it. I've seen some videos, but other than that, this is going to be new to me, so I am really excited. Right then, so to catch you up on what happened in pre-season, we played quite a lot of friendlies in July. We played against our second team, which we won 5-0. Pulisic with a brace, Jakob Larsen with a brace, and Maximilian Philipp with the goals. A 1-0 win over Lotte from a penalty. We probably should have beat them by more. A 2-0 win against SK Austria Klagenfurt. And then another 3-1 win against SC Austria Lustenau. You can see Jakob Larsen actually picked up quite a few goals in pre-season. Then probably our only negative result of the pre-season was a 2-2 draw away to Arminia Bielefeld of the second Bundesliga, I think. So it was a Pulisic 23-minute goal and a Keanu Staude 83-minute goal as well. Mario Götze got himself sent off. Then we returned to win and ways against Rainer. It was a 5-0 away, a comfortable victory. I think they're quite low down in terms of stature and in terms of the league systems of Germany. Abdou Diallo, Marco Reus with a penalty, Maximilian Philipp and Paco Alcacer with the goals. Then we followed that up with a 4-2 win, probably the toughest game of our pre-season so far. To that point was a 4-2 victory over Victoria Pilsen, who were Champions League kind of in and around the Champions League peripheries every year. Axel Witsel with an 11th-minute goal, Abdou Diallo and Jadon Sancho with a brace, David Limberski and Nesta Albiach got goals back for Pilsen. Then another comfortable win against Reda, Pulisic, Witsel, another penalty actually, Maximilian Philipp, 2 penalties, 2 goals from Philipp and a goal from Witsel and Pulisic. And then definitely our toughest game of the season to date, the pre-season, was a 2-1 victory over Lazio, which is a really good result. I let my assistant take over the friendlies as I always do. So this is going to be the first game that I've actually taken charge of against CFR Pforzheim. Transfers to catch you up on. Jakob Larsen's gone out on loan to FC Köln. He's gone for the season. He's going to be a key player for them, so I hope he can continue his development. Most German clubs have really good training facilities, so hopefully his development will be bolstered by those good facilities. Now, as you can see, we actually broke Borussia Dortmund's transfer record to sign Bertrand Traore, who's going to be play on the right wing as an inside forward because he's left-footed. He's got really good stats. You can see, he's 15 dribbling, finishing, first touch, all really, really good, really pacey. Hopefully, his mentals can improve a little bit as well. He's only 22, got 45 caps for Burkina Faso, which is just absolutely insane at his age. He got 13 goals in Liga for Lyon last season, so he could hopefully be a really useful addition. We did get a couple of offers for some of our players. We got an offer from Bayer Leverkusen for Dan Axel Zagadou, the centre-back, I just rejected it straight out. It was about 16.5 million. And we also got a £34 million bid from Bayern Munich for Julian Weigl, which I also rejected. Neither players kicked up a fuss, which is a positive sign, I guess. Before we signed Bertrand Traore, I very nearly signed Divock Origi on loan, but he chose Roma instead. And I also very nearly signed Daniel Sturridge for £21 million. But I ultimately cancelled it because of his injury history. I just couldn't justify spending that much on a player who's probably going to be injured for most of the season. Right then, so this is the team we're going to go with to play against CFR Pforzheim. As you can see, we've got Jadon Sancho and Bertrand Traore as the wingers. Pulisic has picked up an injury and he's going to be injured for the next couple of weeks. It's going to be touch and go whether he'll actually be available for the Leipzig game. And also Royce picked up an injury which he's still currently recovering from, as you can see down here. He's full training back in 6 days, and Pulisic, it's looking like 4 to 8 days. They're both probably going to miss the opening league game against Leipzig as well. You see, we've gone for a bit of rotation here. We've gone for Toljan at right wing back. Usually Hakimi would probably be in there. Toprak and Zagadou, whereas our first choice partnership is probably going to be Akanji and Diallo. Then Schmelzer in at left back, who again, first choice left back is probably going to be Rafael Guerreiro. Then we've got Thomas Delaney and Mahmoud Dahoud in the central midfield, whereas it's usually going to be Axel Witsel and Julian Weigl. As I mentioned before, Traore and Sancho in these inside forward positions. Goetze is usually going to play as the shadow striker, and Paco Alcacer is going to be our main striker throughout the season. Hopefully he can bag us a few goals and assists. You can see there I've got the deep line forward and support, and all 3 of these on attack, so it's a very attacking sort of formation. We went with the tiki-taka style and we've gone with a positive mentality, and it seems to have worked during pre-season. We seem to have really dominated the ball against sides, and I hope we can do that going forward as well. And so let's submit the team. I'm not sure even what this is going to look like. So the teams are warming up. Right, so I've just had to turn the sound off because nobody likes the sound in Football Manager, do they? I don't know if anybody that actually plays with the sound on the match. But we're going to ask the team to do it for the fans. Give the fans a performance to cheer for. Nobody's really gone on. We're going to go with some faith. The faith seems to be still working on this game, so that's positive as well. It always seemed to work. Everybody's looking happy. They used to look a bit more motivated, I think, than that, but happy's fine. So here we are in the tunnel. You're about to take charge of your first match as Borussia Dortmund manager. Can you sum up your feelings on an occasion like this? I'm going to passionately say it's a special day and I can't wait to get started. It's a wonderful job. All right then, so the graphics do look slightly improved. You can see there, obviously our yellow and black famous kit. And as Paco Alcacer gets us underway, we're going to play on key highlights. And we're going to change the camera a little bit, and match speed during highlights obviously needs to be a little bit faster, and between highlights needs to be very fast. And we'll take a look at that. That's a better camera. Zinram now comes forward. So Tony Stark throws it straight to Dahoud, and we've got a chance, have we, straight away? Saito bashed away by Seltz as Jeremy Toljan comes forward now. He's bombing down the right wing, and it's back post, and Jadon Sancho heads over very, very early on. We've got another highlight, and it's actually from a sort of different camera angle, but it's changed again now as Mahmoud Dahoud comes forward. Zagadou tries to play it to Sancho, gives it straight to Zinram, and Saito plays it to Fatih Shaylan. Tony Stark again down the left hand side, just being Iron Man and what have you. Top rack. Dahoud, Toljan. Jeremy Toljan once again down the right hand side. The four-time players just aren't following him. There's Sancho again at the back post, and he's hit the post as Jadon Sancho. I think we possibly need to zoom out a little bit there when it comes back on again. But as you can see, we are absolutely dominating possession with this tiki-taka style. There's no sort of concerns about that 71% possession. It's just that we've created two decent chances in these first 20 minutes, but we haven't taken the lead against a much lesser side, which is a little bit concerning. As Dahoud now. Toljan. All of our attacks have come through Toljan, and he's there again. Jeremy Toljan crosses back post. Sancho again, and Traore. How has that not gone in? Wow, how has that not gone in? Jadon Sancho's had three massive chances. Actually, we are just going to get on here as well some match stats. How can we get some match stats on here? Match stats. There we go. Clear cut chances are on there. Corners. We probably want woodwork and half chances on there as well. If we can customise this. Half chances would work. There we go. And can we make this smaller? That is the question. Yes, we can. We can indeed. The camera's gone back to director. I had it on TV. There, the camera. That's a much better camera angle, isn't it? I think we're going to go zoom in a little bit though. That camera height's too high. We'll go a bit lower, and we will zoom in a little bit further. That's much better. As Dahoud comes forward and shoots from range. That's a much better camera angle, I feel. Just let me know in the comments if you feel like the camera angle doesn't suit you, or just let me know if there's any better camera angles that I can test out. Sancho with a free kick, knocks it in. There's Top Rack at the back post. We've hit the woodwork again, and I know that on Football Manager last year, hitting the woodwork was a real issue, and I feel that we've hit the woodwork again. That's the fourth time I think in this game that we've hit the woodwork. 4 times we've hit it there. Schmelzer again, Kagawa at the back post, and we do score this time. Assist by Marcel Schmelzer, and that's probably, a header from Shinji Kagawa is a bit of a collector's item now, isn't it? But Marcel Schmelzer took the free kick. We have got a replay. It's very slow, and Kagawa just nodded it in at the back post. Nothing the goalkeeper could do there, and thankfully he didn't hit the woodwork. So, alright, so we sort of cantered to half time there, and that one goal from Shinji Kagawa was the difference. Bayern Munich are already 3-0 up in their game. Breland Bolo's got a brace for Schalke, so they're 4-0 up. But yeah, I think, obviously we're absolutely dominating the ball, so they haven't really had a chance at all to impose themselves in any way on this game. And I think, just keep going forward. I'm going to say things are going well, but I know you're capable of even better, and start the second half. As fourth time get us underway for the second half now. Shinji Kagawa makes a tackle in there, and he's brought down by Fatih Shaylan. Free kick, Bertrand Traore will take it. Back post for Jadon Sancho, who's also scored a header from a free kick, and Jadon Sancho gets his first goal of the season, the first goal of his Borussia Dortmund career on this game, obviously. But back post from Traore, Sancho with the header, very similar to Kagawa's goal in all honesty. Highlight, and look, you see we're playing it out from the back. The centre backs have split, which seems to be a new kind of implementation from Football Manager, which is nice. Switch of play there for Sancho, who comes inside, destroys the defence, and just places it wide. But it was nice in the first instance from Sancho. Sancho is looking a bit tired, so we're going to make a substitution. I was looking for the button there. Sancho's going to come off on this left-hand side for Maximilian Philip, who can fill in there. Alcacer is going to come off as well for Sergio Gomez, no, for Mario Götze, who's going to go in there as a false 9. If you can, yes, you can. So false 9 for Mario Götze up there. Bertrand Traore might look to get him off soon as well. 75 minutes gone, nothing really happening. We're just still dominating the ball. They've only had 2 shots in the whole game. We haven't created masses. We've got another free kick, and it's going to be another chance. It looks like, and we've scored 3 goals. I wonder if that's going to be a little bit of a bug in this game. I don't know. I don't want to make that assumption too soon. But Marcel Schmelzer, why has it gone back? It's gone back again to the 14th minute. Why has it done that? Just take a look at this goal again. So yeah, so Schmelzer knocked it in, and Götze with the header. Kagawa scored a very similar goal, and so did Jadon Sancho. Saying, yeah, I wonder if it's going to be a little bit of a bug or whether it's too early to make that assumption yet. We've got another replay of the goal, which is nice. So it is a little bit buggy, I think, at the very start, isn't it? It's always going to be like that. Anyway, 3-0 to Borussia Dortmund, and we're probably going to advance to the next round of the German Cup, or the DFB Pokal, to give it its real name, as they pick up an injury. And another from the same position, and it's 4-0, and it's 4 of exactly the same goal. Mario Götze with the goal, and Marcel Schmelzer's got himself 3 assists. I think the wing backs are going to be key in this season, but to score 4 goals from very similar kind of range is quite strange. And that rhymed, and I didn't really know that it rhymed, so yeah. But 96 minutes gone. There's only 4 added, but we've canted to a win this game. We expected that we would. But that's the first game of the season, and it potentially might already be buggy with having scored 4 of exactly the same goal. I wonder if we scored any of those goals in pre-season. That'd be really strange if we did that. I'm going to say I'm very happy with the result and the way he played, and the boys love it. And let's get on to the next game against Leipzig. Here we are then for the first game of the Bundesliga season against RB Leipzig. We're favourites for this one, according to Planet Football. Bayern Munich won their first game 3-0. So we've got a bit of a task on our hands this season, I think, to overthrow Bayern Munich in the first season, but we're going to try and do it anyway. So we're also going to get a first look at the Westfalenstadion, aka Signal Iduna Park. We've sold 77,000 tickets out of a possible 81,000, which isn't too bad. We're nearly full. When I was doing my research for this series, actually, it said that Borussia Dortmund have consistently the highest average attendance in world football, which is amazing. Also get a first chance to have a look at the yellow wall, won't we? So this is the team we're going to go with against Leipzig. You can see we've made a few changes. This is going to be more or less the first string side. Goethe got a brace in the last game, so he's coming in for Kagawa. Burki in goal as opposed to Marvin Hitz. Ashraf Hakimi in right wing back. Manuel Akanji and Abdou Diallo as the central defenders, who probably will be the partnership unless Dan Axel Zagadou can convince me otherwise. Then we're going to Rafael Guerreiro at left wing back. Weigl and Witzel as the 2 centre midfielders. I love the way that rolls off the tongue. Weigl, Witzel, Weigl, Witzel, Weigl, Witzel. Then we've got the 3 attacking midfield players in Sancho, Goethe and Traore. Royce is still not quite fit to play, and also Pulisic is still injured. So those are going to be our 2 wingers, or 2 inside forwards rather, with Paco Alcacer up front on his own. Let's get into this big game against Leipzig. So they go with a 4-4-2 formation with the notable players there are probably Forsberg and Timo Werner, with Marcel Sabitzer in there as well. They've actually got Malcolm, which is Barcelona Malcolm on loan, which I'll have to watch out for, give him a little scout. But you can see Signal Iduna Park there in the background, and we'll have a look for the yellow wall. Keep an eye out for that. Passionately going to say we're the favourites to go out there and give the fans a performance here for the 77,000, for crying out loud. Going to give them some faith as well, because they didn't seem to like that too much, so give them some faith into the game. Right then, so the players coming into the tunnel in Signal Iduna Park, and I'm not sure where the yellow wall is situated, but you can see it's a massive stadium. And we do have the match highlights from the start this time, and the better camera angle, so we're already at an advantage. You would expect us to dominate the ball with this tactic, and you can see that we are 66% up. Diallo looks like he suffered a bruised ankle as Sabitzer picks up an injury, but actually You know, I am conscious that these videos are a little bit longer right at the start, but we've got a chance potentially. Mario Götze, can he play it? That's a terrible pass from Götze. And Sarachi just knocks it over the top. Timo Werner's pace inside, and it's a terrible finish. Roman Berkey can collect, but I'm conscious that these videos are a little bit longer. But I obviously want to show you as much gameplay as I can. And you know, I hope that you enjoy it. Traore with a header! Traore again, and he scored on his debut, his league debut. But it's the 5th one we scored. The referee's going over to review the footage. Oh, we've got VAR, boys. This is the first VAR situation. I was not. The referee's reviewing it. What's going on? We're very. It's been awarded, yes, come on. So that's the first instance of VAR. I don't know what the referee was reviewing. Absolutely nothing wrong with that goal. As Bertrand Traore gets his first goal of the season. Excellent. So this is what VAR was looking at. I don't know why they were looking at the ball. I mean, we scored anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it's been awarded, yeah. Okay, so it could be better, but it could be better in real life. So, got a highlight for... Oh, and that's terrible. Terrible goalkeeping. Highlight for Leipzig. Results in a goal, and it is all 6 goals that we've seen so far in this episode have been from free kicks of that nature. Konrad Laimer. That looked like a handball. Referee, VAR, yes, no. We've got another highlight. This first half's been a bit crazy, if you ask me. It's been a bit of a through ball frenzy, if I do say so myself. Ashraf Hakimi now. Witzel, it's a good pass to Weigl. That's another good pass to Rafael Guerreiro. And plays it back to Roman Berkey, so my cat's at the window, so I'll let this highlight pass and then I'll go and let him in. Might hear him meowing, so I do apologise for that. Rafael Guerreiro, Weigl, Guerreiro. Oh no, what's he done? Oh my God, Yusuf Poulsen, oh, he's nicked it off the goal kick. What is going on, boys? What is going on? Does Leipzig take the lead? It was Berkey's error that led to the goal. It wasn't Berkey's error. That was a terrible back pass from Rafael Guerreiro. I mean, he should have just cleared it. He shouldn't have tried to do anything stupid like he did, but Yusuf Poulsen wasn't going to miss the chance to take the ball off him there, was he? Let's be honest. And it's a bit of a disaster. He's struggling and isn't playing well. We've dominated the ball, but not really made. It's been an even game, in all honesty. He's made a lot of mistakes. And think about taking him off, taking the goalkeeper off. I mean, come on. So we're 2-1 down at half-time. I don't think we deserve it, to be honest with you, but it's been a bit of a crazy game, and it's been littered with controversy. Let's hope the second half's as good as the first half was. In our favour, obviously. And assertively say, come on lads, show a bit of desire. You don't look like a team that wants to win. Get into the second half. Come on boys. We get underway for the second half, and Weigl to Diallo and Guerreiro with that terrible back pass. It was Berkey that got blamed for it, but to be honest, I can't blame him really. Sancho's not had the best half. We are dominating the ball, but it doesn't really matter if we can't score a goal. Guerreiro does make a good interception though. Sancho driving at the defence. Götze, Guerreiro, Paco Alcacer's in. Alcacer! It's a terrible miss. 60 minutes gone, we're going to make a substitution. We don't seem to be doing anything. The front line hasn't got a very good rating at all, so we're going to get Paco Alcacer off for Maximilian Philippe, and we're going to play him as a pressing forward and see what he can do there. And we're going to get Jadon Sancho off for Marco Reus, who can come in for his first appearance of the season after injury. And we're going to highlight straight after the substitutions, and Witzel nods on. Oh, and the goalkeeper again. What is going on with these goalkeepers today? Berkey's been at fault for 2 of the goals. Well, one of them in my opinion. But what is that from their goalkeeper? This is unbelievable. I mean, I know it's supposed to be buggy, but Jesus Christ. So Witzel nodded it on. Weigl came to meet it. And the goalkeeper just fell on the floor. That's unreal. I don't know what's going on. They're giving us another replay just in case we wanted it. Yeah, he's onside. You see there, he's quite clearly he's onside. I think that's what he was reviewing. But insane free kick, and we know these often result in goals. Guerreiro gets it back again. We don't want to be losing the ball here, do we? Use the ball. Nice pass, Akanji, Witzel, Götze, through for Traore! Good save from Gulaxi. We've got ourselves a corner which Reus will take. Knocks it in, headed away by Orban. Weigl, can he give it back to Reus? He can. Marco Reus on the right hand side. Tackled quite easily there. 75 minutes gone, and you can see we've kind of turned the heat up in this second half. We're going to make our last substitution, which will be Shinji Kagawa for Mario Götze, who hasn't really lit the world alight, has he, in that shadow striker role. But we will get... Oh, I brought Sebastian Roda on in attacking midfield instead of Shinji Kagawa. It just goes from bad to worse, boys. Right, how can we mix this up to make it kind of work? We can't is the answer to that. I'm going to put... I think Axel Witzel's probably the best chance we've got there. And just swap these 2 around because Roda's more of a defensive player. I don't know why that seemed to move, but I meant to bring Shinji Kagawa on, and that's a shame. I don't know if there will be enough time for us to make an attack here. But Traore comes forward. Philip. Ooh, that was a good tackle, really good tackle. Witsel, Royce, Weigl, Hakimi, Ashraf. Pull it in, pull it. Cross the ball, Weigl, Ashraf Hakimi, Sebastian Rode. It would be ironic if Sebastian Rode scored the winning goal. Oh, but Leipzig comes forward. Emil Forsberg, he's got loads of space. Forsberg, great block there from Abdou Diallo to get back. And it's been a game of clear-cut chances, but it's been a game of mistakes from goalkeepers and defenders. And it just hasn't been a great game, in all honesty, from our side. We probably should be winning these kind of games. It's a good tackle from Rode, but I think that's going to be that for this game. Yeah, so there we go. The referee's blown for full time. And our first two games, a bit of a contrast really, as we won 4-0 in our first one. We were expected to win it. 2-2 against Leipzig, and we did dominate the ball. We dominated the game, but they probably had more. I think they had one more clear-cut chance than us. But you see, Roman Burki got himself a 4.6. We might look to retain Marvin Hitz rather than Burki, to be honest, if he's getting 4.6s in consistently. So that wasn't good enough. We should have won that match. Although Leipzig are a good side, we should probably be looking to beat them at home if we've got any aspirations this season of winning the league. Right then, so that brings us to the end of the episode, and I really enjoyed those first two games, although there was probably that, the bit of difficulty with the free kicks and the headed goals and what have you. The mistakes from the goalkeepers were awful. Both goalkeepers made mistakes in the Leipzig game. Thankfully, it didn't cost us in the end, but we did manage to get a draw. Julian Weigl played particularly well in that game, and Bertrand Traore, it was nice to see him getting a goal on his debut. Just one thing to mention before we go is that we got Hertha Berlin away from home in the German Cup second round, so that's a really tough tie for a second round tie. Soon we should have the Champions League group stage draw coming up. I think it's possibly the end of this week. I'll bring you the results of that in the next episode, and also I think the next episode is we will play the Hanover and Eintracht Frankfurt game, and then we'll come back for the Champions League first game and the Hoffenheim away game in the Bundesliga. So I hope you've liked what you've seen, and if you could drop me a like, comment or subscribe, that would be most excellent. I have got a link to my Twitter, my Patreon and my Twitch account in the description, which you can follow and go and follow me, connect with me on social media. I'll always be willing to connect with people. I love the community. So thanks everyone for watching now. Bye bye.